All right, well, welcome back here, everybody, to Ray Lagenza Field in Naugatuck, where we're in the if game, as they call it, between Naugatuck and Trumbull. Trumbull winning the first game by the score of 6-3. And leading it off here is Zach Graveline. We'll get to the rest of the lineup in a second. On the mound is Danny Massaro as Graveline swings and misses. So the rest of the Naugatuck lineup for the second game, Jim?
Very similar to the first one, Riles. We got batting first, Zach Graveline. He's playing third. Batting second, Nick Bruno. He's in left. Batting third, Justin Marks. He'll be playing center field. Batting fourth, Zach I butchered his name. Bedrezic.
Yep.
He's on the mound today for Naugatuck. Batting fifth, Derek Jagella. He's the shortstop. Batting sixth is Austin Varab. He'll be at first. Batting seventh, Mark Nofree. He's at second base. Batting eighth, Mike
Natkeel.
He's behind the plate. And batting ninth is Nate Deptula. He's in right field.
All right, well, the first batter of the game was Zach Graveline, popped up to second base, and we'll set up the defense for you for Trumbull. Matt Delaney is down behind the plate. Danny Massaro on the mound. At third base is Evan Warner. Kevin Bruggeman is at shortstop. So there's a foul ball, so it's 0-1 now to the second batter, Nick Bruno. Matt Massaro is at second base. Rob Goldsmith at first. On the outfield, Jack Welch in left, Timmy Loico in center, and Chris Baganti in right field. Little tongue twisters there because of the fact that we were trying to get our lineup straightened out, because originally it was thought that Trumbull was going to DH for the pitcher Danny Massaro, so we had to get their lineup straightened out again, because under American Legion rules, you cannot bat for anyone but the pitcher. So they chose to DH for Danny Massaro, who was the number 3 hitter in the lineup in the last game. Al Palazzi will remain as the DH, batting third for Trumbull. There's a pop-up in the infield, so 2 pop-ups in a row. This one's in shallow left field. Looks like the center fielder, Loico, is going to take it. So 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the first for Naugatuck, who seemed a little down after that last game.
Yeah, let's see if Naugatuck can get some momentum back and get some base runners on, put the pressure on.
Because of the nature of the rules and tournament play here, although Naugatuck's the home team, this is their ballpark. In the second game, in the if game, it switches, and Trumbull becomes the home team, and Naugatuck becomes the visitors, even though they're playing at Ray Lagenza Field, the home of the Naugatuck American Legion team. Justin Marks steps in now from the left side. He takes a ball up high. There's a chopper towards the first baseman. He'll have to hurry. He bobbles it, and he takes it himself for the final out of the inning. So for Naugatuck, they got 3 up and 3 down in the top of the first inning. We'll be back with the bottom of the first inning. Trumbull coming to bat.
As we recognize the service of America's men and women in uniform, let's also honor the families who sacrifice so much every day. As the service member serves, so does the family. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Look for ways to support their families and thank them for their sacrifices. Go to legion.org/honor-veterans to find out how you can help. The American Legion honors our newest generation of warriors and veterans. Please join us in supporting and recognizing their unique contributions and needs. Go to legion.org/honor-veterans to find out more.
Today, more than ever before, women are on the front lines of America's defense. These brave women struggle and sacrifice to help keep our country secure. They deserve to be recognized for their service as guardians of freedom. Please support the American Legion's efforts to serve the growing number of women veterans. Go to legion.org/honor-veterans to find out how you can help.
All right, we're in the bottom of the first inning here. Naugatuck High in the if game between Naugatuck and Trumbull to determine who goes to the Super Regionals starting July 27th. That's this Saturday. Jim, the lineup for Trumbull today.
Batting first, Kevin Brugman. He's going to be at shortstop. Batting second, Matt Massaro. He's at second base. Batting third, Al Palazzini.
That's Palozzi.
Palozzi. He's DHing. Batting fourth is Chris Briganti. He's in right. Next is Tim Lejoke.
No, it's Loico.
Lyko.
Yep.
He's in center field. Then we have Rob Goldsmith, followed by Ethan Warner. Batting eighth is Matt Delaney. He's behind the plate. And batting ninth is Jack Welch.
Okay, and on the mound is Zach Bedrzik for. There's a hard ground ball to the shortstop. This is Jagello now, not Bedrzik anymore, and he makes the play, 6-3. So the lineup now defensively for Naugatuck, as you just met, Derek DeGello is playing shortstop. Catcher's the same. Mike Natekeel will try to do a double header here behind the plate. Zach Graveline will play third base. At second's Mark Nofri, Big Austin Virab over at first. In the outfield is Nick Bruno in left, Justin Marks in center, and Nate Deptula, the losing pitcher in the first game, out in right. And that's a first pitch strike now to left-handed hitting Matt Massaro. So we got to see how the fact that Danny Massaro's bat is not in this game. Although he didn't do much in the first game, he was 0 for 3. And there's ground ball base hit to center field. So Matt Massaro is the first base runner aboard here for Trumbull. And that's going to bring up Al Palazzi, the designated hitter. And he was actually St. Joe's first baseman, so it's kind of strange that they elected, once they knew the rule, that they had to switch it around, is that they actually DH'd for last game's 3-hitter.
Yeah, big lead here, too, at first base.
Yeah, and they couldn't do it, so a little interesting, their lineup change that they decided to make once they found out they couldn't DH for the number 3-hitter. Popped up into shallow right center. Deptula coming around, lets Marks take it on the backhand side for the second out of the inning. So with 2 outs and a run around first, up comes Chris Briganti, the right fielder, now being the cleanup spot. The last game he was in the 5 spot. And they have a new home plate umpire for this game. It's a tough one to umpire 2 in a row. Last game's home plate umpire is now on the bases. The base umpire for the last game is not on the bases now, as there's a first pitch curveball strike to Briganti. From Zach Bedrzik, he was a star for Woodland this year on the mound and on the shortstop. There's a base hit to right field on a curve. Deptula gets it. The runner's heading for third. Here comes the throw. Long throw. Nobody backing up third base again. Lucky that ball bounced up to Graveline. And just like that, Trumbull now has runners on the corners with 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the first, no score. And that's going to bring up Timmy Loico. So Trumbull now having a little momentum carryover from the last game where they were trailing the entire game till the 6th inning. And then they jumped out, a few errors here and there and a bunch of hits, and they win the game to force this if game. There's a ball in the dirt. Let's see if Trumbull gets a little more aggressive on the bases.
Yeah, you definitely want to put the pressure on, and if you get that guy to second base, now you have 2 runners in scoring position.
Yep. Straddling off first is Brigante. Bedrzik fires a fastball, and that one's in there for a strike.
Last inning with Deptula on the mound, not many opportunities with a lefty to single.
Yeah, I know. Big lead at first base, or decent lead, I should say. And there's the ball down. Zach Bedrzik is a 4-year starter, really, for Woodland. Played on that team that got beat by Wolcott in the semifinals this year, the state tournament Class M. And the runner doesn't go. Here's the pitch. That one's popped up into shallow left center. The left fielder, Bruno, is under it and makes the one-handed grab to retire the side. So for Trumbull here in the bottom of the first inning, they get no runs, 2 hits, no errors. They leave 2 runners on base. We'll be right back with the top of the second inning after this.
The American Legion.
The American Legion honors our newest generation of warriors and veterans. Please join us in supporting and recognizing their unique contributions and needs. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out more.
The American Legion, we're a powerful force for the nation. We're patriots through and through. We believe in our flag and all that it stands for. Our Constitution, our Pledge of Allegiance, our way of life are all fundamental to maintaining our freedom and the standing that we have as the greatest country on earth. We promote and defend these values every day in communities across the nation. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America.
The American Legion honors our newest generation of warriors and veterans. Please join us in supporting and recognizing their unique contributions and needs. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out more. Life in the military is one of service and sacrifice. And for some, that's sacrifice.
All right, we're moving on to the top of the second inning. The pitcher for Naugatuck, Zach Bedrzik, comes up to the plate now for the first time to face Danny Massaro. And looking back at game one, Bedrzik was 1 for 2 with a sac fly. There's Danny Massaro on the mound. The first pitch to Bedrzik, curveball. There's a ground ball towards third. And scooping it up is Warner, who makes his first assist of the afternoon for Trumbull. Excuse me. Warner, the only player who did not play on the field in game one, is now up there in game two. Matt Delaney doing yeoman's duty back there, also catching the second game of this doubleheader. One out is Derek DeGello. The shortstop comes up. The curveball's away. And here's the 1-0 is low, so it's 2-0. Danny Massaro played his high school baseball along with his brother at Fairfield Prep. And there's a strike, so it's 2-1. Now, Trumbull, a combination of mostly Trumbull high school students. Fairfield Prep, there's 3 of those, and 2 players from St. Joe's. Evan Warner actually goes to UMass. The rest of the players at Trumbull High School. Head coach for Trumbull, Jack McFarlane. Senior general manager, assistant coach Mark Windsor. There's a line drive base hit into left center. That could be more than one as that ball rolls all the way to the fence. Rounding first, heading for second is Derek DeGello, and he gets a stand-up double. He ripped that into the left center gap. And that brings up Austin Virab. Virab in game one flied out to center, grounded to short, and walked.
They're making him tuck in his jersey.
Yeah, it's going to be hard. It's hard for him to tuck in his jersey because he's such a big young man. Well, I guess they didn't tuck it in the back, but I guess they don't want to allow you to get a hit by a pitch off the shirt if it's sticking out, I guess. That's probably part of it. Massaro deals. Curveball outside. Slow curve. Missed.
Yeah, they've been throwing Verab curves all day. He's going to have to drive that to right or right center if he wants to hit that ball in the gap.
He's got quick hands. Fastball strike. Well, some of the players for Naugatuck in between games were going into the batting cage to take some extra BP. It's a good sign for them when you think about it. The dugout was kind of down after leading for most of the game in game one. Here's a ball outside. 2-1 now to Austin. On deck is Mark Nofrey. I thought the big thing in the last game, Jim, was they only got 1 run when they had the bases loaded, nobody out twice. There's a high fly ball, almost cracked his bat. That's out in straight center field. Timmy Loico getting under it. He makes the one-handed grab.
Yeah, Riles, that, leaving those guys on, and then defensively in the outfield, giving up those extra bases, a couple wild pitches, and, you know,
just fell apart.
It unraveled,
Unraveled, unfortunately. As they're playing Nofrey basically straight away. Right fielder's got a nice one out there. He's in the shade. He's the only guy in the field in the shade. pop foul left side out of play. Right? If you're the right fielder, you're like, hey, I'm cool back here. You guys got the 10 degrees hotter out in the rest of the field. Well, across Connecticut today, we have a couple of more winners. Bristol popped in to the Super Regionals. There's a swing and a miss by
the
Nofre.
Stanford North Haven game was pushed to that second if game, and last I checked, Stanford was up 2-1 on North Haven.
Okay. So far in the Super Regionals, Cheshire's in, Hamden's in, Bristol's now in. We get as many scores as we can for you as they come into us. Curveball, that's a fastball way up high. To Mark Nofre with 2 outs. Runner on second base is Derek DeGello, ripped the double with 1 out. And now Massaro checks twice at second. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That'll do it for Naugatuck here in the top of the second inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base. We'll be right back with the bottom of the second.
America, meet Greg Anderson, served 2 tours in Afghanistan, Bronze Star and Purple Heart recipient, and unemployed. The unemployment rate among transitioning service members is unacceptably high, much higher than the general population. Veterans are a proven commodity. They're mature, reliable, and hardworking, and they deserve a chance to get back to work after serving their country. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Hire one. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before, and when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
The American Legion, we're a powerful force for the nation. We're patriots through and through. We believe in our flag and all that it stands for. Our Constitution, our Pledge of Allegiance, our way of life are all fundamental to maintaining our freedom and the standing that we have as the greatest country on earth. We promote and defend these values.
All right, we're moving on to the bottom of the second inning. Trumbull is going to send up their 6, 7, 8 guys. Rob Goldsmith coming up for the first time here in the second game. Goldsmith in the first game was 1 for 3. And there's a strike. The Woodland product, Zach Bedrosic on the mound for Naugatuck here in this if game. Curveball is up high. It's 1-1. You know, all 7-inning games here in American Legion play, they do have the re-entry rule of the Federation. Here's a high fly to straight center field. Backing up is Marks, and he makes the catch about 15 feet from the center field fence. So 1 up, 1 down here in the bottom of the second inning. No score. Evan Warner will come up for his first time this afternoon. You know, the other thing that you notice about these games when they do 2 of them is they don't fix the field for the second game. And there's a ball down low. I'm looking at the batter's box, and there's huge holes, you know, on both sides. I'm like, you know.
Yeah, would have been nice.
Same thing with the infield and the mound. I mean, they didn't. There's nobody out here to just come out and re-rake it, redo it, you know. Retamp the mound. I mean.
Yeah, maybe if we were playing up at Yard Goats Stadium, they would have a nice little.
Well, that's what they do at Bristol and, you know, Palmer. They come out. You know, you have to. Unfortunately, those are the parks that have that. There's a strike.
Can't let that affect you, though. If
No, not at all. I'm just saying that for purposes of making it a little bit easier on the players. There's a foul ball right side. You know, you're going to get a lot of bad hops now, you know, when you have a lot of running through the infield and things. So it's not like the game we saw at Stratford where there's, you know, it's all artificial turf and there's nothing that can happen. Foul ball on the right field line, and Deptul will chase it, but he won't catch it.
Even the catcher was getting nice little bounces to him.
Yeah. Yep.
Wild pitch or
yeah.
fastball.
Big difference when you're on turf. Hamden was on turf in their games. We heard that Washington got a inside the park home run against Hamden.
Down the left field line.
Yep. Evan Warner trying to get on base for his Trumbull Legion team. Curveball is up high. Count is now full on Warner. Fastball, that one's hit towards right field, and that'll make its way past Marks and all the way out. Shallow right field.
Yeah, that's the second one through that gap.
Yep, third hit of the game for Trumbull. Well, you know, that there, he tried to put a little extra on it on the outside part of the plate, and the ball had a little more power on it as it went out. So it got past Nofri. And so with one out, there's a runner on. Matt Delaney, the catcher, steps in. And there's a pop-up towards the Naugatuck dugout. Chasing is the Nate Keel in. Oh, he dropped it. He slid right into the corner between the dugout and the backstop. And
great effort, though.
Great effort. Couldn't see it on our monitor, but it was a great effort as he slid in, and it just hit off and fell to the ground. Hit off his glove. He might have touched the fence first. I don't know, but
yeah, he went as far as he could.
He could possibly go. Yeah.
This park.
Yeah. So Bedrzik checks the runner at first. Deals curveball in there for strike. 2 strikes now to Delaney. Matt Delaney was 2 for 4 in that last game. Scored a run as there's a ball away. He was involved in that crazy 6th inning or 7th inning where Trumbull scored 2 runs and everybody was running everywhere, and we actually had a 9-4, 3-5-6 double play, if you can believe that one. Here's a pitch. There's a fly ball into shallow right field. Nate Detul is coming on. He has to go, and he makes it just barely. They probably would have got a force at second base anyway, even if the ball had hit. As the runner on first, Warner has virtually staked very close to first base, so he wouldn't get doubled off. So probably would have been an easy toss to second if he had dropped it. But nice play that time by Nate Detul out there in right field, and that brings up Jack Welch. I think Welch came in as a pinch runner, if I remember right, for Trumbull.
Yeah, he did earlier
in the last game. So Welch takes ball 1. Warner on first. Ball's in the dirt, backhanded by Nate Keel. Mike Nate Keel, a player for Naugatuck High School. You got Graveline at third. He was from Woodland. Jagello from Naugatuck, right? Way up high for a ball. Nofri from Naugatuck. Austin Verab from Seymour. Out in the outfield, I think it's Bruno from Naugatuck. I don't know where Justin Marks. I think he might have played for Woodland. Woodland, yeah. Right field, Nate Detul, a star for Naugatuck High. There's a strike. More fans filed in for game number 2. A lot of them sitting underneath the press box here in the shade. Swing and a miss. As the count is full, the runner will be going now. As Verab moves back behind him. Behind the runner at first. There he kicks and goes. Swing and a miss. There's strike 3. So Bedrzik strikes out Welch for his first strikeout of the afternoon, or I should say the evening. And Trumbull goes down without a run. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base for Trumbull. We'll be right back. The top of the 3rd inning of the if game between Trumbull and Naugatuck after this.
As we recognize the service of America's men and women in uniform, let's also honor the families who sacrifice so much every day. As the service member serves, so does the family. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Look for ways to support their families and thank them for their sacrifices. Go to legion.org/honorveterans to find out how you can help. As we recognize the service of America's men, the American Legion honors our newest generation of warriors and veterans. Please join us in supporting and recognizing their unique contributions and needs. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out more.
Today, more than ever before, women are on the front lines of America's defense. These brave women struggle and sacrifice to help keep our country secure. They deserve to be recognized for their service as guardians of freedom. Please support the American Legion's efforts to serve the growing number of women veterans. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
As we recognize the service of America.
All right, we're in the top of the third inning for Naugatuck. They'll send up Nate Keel, Nate Deptula in the top of the order with Zach Graveline. No score here in the if game. See if one of these teams can jump out over the other one. And here's the first pitch. Curveball in there for strike one. And on the mound, Danny Massaro looks in for the sign and delivers. Another curve. This one misses. Nate Keel was a really feisty batter in game one where he kept fouling the ball off left and right. There's a ground ball. Looks like it'll go through up the middle, and a diving stab by the second baseman to knock it down on the outfield grass, but they'll have no chance to get Nate Keel.
I was just going to tell you, Riles, Naugatuck, they needed a little spark, and that's what they got right there. Leadoff guy on.
Yep.
And let's see if they're aggressive here with a lefty up. Big hole on the right side.
See if they'll force it by bunting Deptula. You never know. The lefty bunters have such a big advantage, because you get that running start, so to speak.
Yep. Third baseman's up.
He shows bunt, and he does bunt it, but it's going to roll up and it's going to stay foul. Deptula, who pitched game one, looks down at the third base. I didn't know the coaches from Naugatuck were twins. They have twins on their coaching staff. That must be interesting. Hey, coach, stop yelling at me. I didn't yell at you. All right. Yeah. Throw over to first and getting back in time is Nate Keel. All right.
Yeah. Or you could be like, oh, I didn't tell you. I didn't say that.
Yeah.
That was my brother.
It's my brother. Here's the pitch. It's up high. 1-1.
Because kids would never put the blame on a coach ever. That never happens.
Yeah. Very short lead at first by Nate Keel. Here's the pitch from Massaro. There's a chopper slow to the second baseman. They won't get the runner at second, but they'll get the runner at first. So it's just as good as a bunt.
Yep.
So score that one 4-3, but fielder's choice, and that sends Nate Keel down to second. Zach Graveline comes up with one out and a runner at second now.
Yeah, let's see if this top of the order for Naugatuck can get it going. One out.
Yep. Shadows start to creep in a little bit in right field. The Naugatuck dugout, they must be feeling the shade, right? Here's the pitch from Massaro, curveball, and they call that one a strike. Slow curveball, actually. Big gap over there between first and second base. I tell you, if you hit a ground ball that way, it's going into right field. Take that curveball opposite field. Batter asks for time as they're trying to get Nate Keel to get off the bag more, and Trumbull was still looking at him, waiting for him to get off more before they ran the play or whatever they were going to do.
Yeah, that second baseman holding him.
He's holding him on, yeah, too close. Real close.
It's really opening up that right side.
Yep, counts even at one now. One apiece. Ray Lagenza Field, Naugatuck, Connecticut. And here's the pitch, curveball. That's low, so it's 2-1. Well, when they built this field, they built some of the light stanchions. Let me see, 1, 2, 3 of them are inside the playing area, and the rest of them are outside the playing area. Here's the ball outside.
Yeah, my first game watching a game here, well, actually coaching was a night game.
Yep. I always wondered why they they just put the pole outside the playing area. That's all you have to do.
Yeah.
Right?
And you got to worry about running around it.
You're running
ground
around it,
rules
running
and all
into
that.
it. You know, here's the pitch. Gets by the catcher. It's ball 4. And now they have runners at first and third. So it's a walk and a wild pitch that advances the runners. First walk of the day for Danny Massaro, but now, more importantly, Naugatuck has runners at first and third base.
Yeah, now the wild pitch actually benefiting Naugatuck, where last game it kind of hurt them.
Kinda
putting
hurt
them
them,
in
yeah.
the first and third situation for Trumbull.
Yeah, and you could even bunt here, believe it or not. Nick Bruno, I mean, you could. I mean, I'm just saying, or you can fake bunt steal here. And now it looks like Bruno wants to go down to third baseline and say, what the heck was that sign, coach? I couldn't figure it out. You sure? Right?
Yeah, it's tough as a coach. You know, you want to have sophisticated enough signs to keep the other team off balance and not knowing, but you need to have, easy enough sign for your team to understand what they are.
Yeah. Runner at first, big lead at first. Is he going to go? He doesn't. Pitches up high, ball 1.
I do remember from the game, when was it? Saturday?
Yeah, I think he's going on this pitch. And so stretching off first is Graveline. Now there's a throw to first, and it might, good block that time by Goldsmith. The ball was thrown to first in the dirt.
When they did play at Trumbull High, this same Naughty versus Trumbull, they did have a first and third play where the shortstop cut it off and threw the guy out at home.
Yeah, threw him at home, yep. Yes, they did. And a runner goes. Here's the pitch. They throw it all the way to the cutoff man. It's short.
And that was the same play,
Same
but they
play.
didn't fall for it this time.
Yep. Yep, they didn't go after it. So now that means Graveline stole second base. And it's 1-1 now to Nick Bruno. So runners are at second and third, and Trumbull will bring their infield up on the edge.
Yeah, you need a ball to the outfield here. Get this.
Yeah, we got to get it through these guys. Curveball, he got backed up into that strike.
That's a tough pitch. It looks like it's going to hit you and comes
Comes
back
right over
in.
the plate. Yeah, it looked like it was going to hit him. Bruno looks at his bat and gets set again. Runs through his routine before he steps back in. Time is called. The batter asked for it. In the old days, you used to ask for a timeout by lifting your hand up. Not anymore. Kids just yell it out so they don't, in case they don't give it to them.
Yeah, no, you don't want to take that other hand off the bat.
Yeah.
Be stuck in limbo.
There's the pitch. There's a fly ball to shallow. Well, it's deep enough center. That ball's traveling. And Loico will get it, but here comes the runner home, and they'll score, and the runner on second. Graveline makes the third. But again, I was watching that play develop, Jim, and the runner on third base, Nate Keel, was tagging up with his right foot, so he had to really be told by his third base coach when to go. So it takes a little bit longer, but he was going to score easily no matter what.
Yeah, you definitely want to be tagging up with that left foot so you're facing out towards the field.
Yep. So Bruno with the F8 sac fly, and now with 2 outs, Naugatuck has a runner on third, and Justin Marks up as the
Looking
infield
back
now
at
is
it,
back.
Riles, that wild pitch really hurt
Yeah,
them. Put
definitely.
them in the first and third, and then
Yep.
put 2 runners in scoring position.
And allowed that sac fly to happen. Fastball outside. Yep. Ball carried that time. I thought it was going to be in shallow center, but then it carried out to
Yeah, definitely.
far enough to easily
shot at
score.
throwing them out at home.
no. Plus, Loico couldn't get behind the ball and come in. It's the ball outside as the catcher tried to frame it. Just didn't work. I get a kick out of some catchers that try to frame balls that are like a foot outside or whatever.
Yeah, you can only frame a pitch that's borderline.
Yeah, I know.
You don't want to make it too
Yeah,
obvious.
because then the umpire just doesn't trust you anymore.
I saw a video of a little leaguer. He jumped up above and then brought it down, and they were all like, he wanted the call. Like,
There's a strike. I know, that's just funny. 2-1.
nowadays with the YouTube.
Or yesterday, I got a kick out of it at South Windsor when the guy got back to first with a step and a dive, and like 3 seconds later, somebody yelled out back.
Back, yeah.
A little late.
And that's the cool thing now with
Yeah.
we're watching on the GoPro, but now with games being more and more videotaped with cameras and phones and all of that, you're able to put a little clip of something that you see awkward or weird. Like you say, with baseball, it's always something different.
Something
it's not
different.
the same thing.
Yeah, Mark's trying to get that second runner in. Scoreboard still not operating here at Lagenza Field. And here's the pitch. Hits the dirt, so Marks walks. So this is going to be a long inning pitch-wise for Mr. Massaro. Brings up Zach Bedrzik, who grounded out to third on a reach on a curveball his first time up. And let's see what Naugatuck tries to do here.
I think you got to be aggressive.
I don't think he's going.
Right?
Yep, 2 outs, but I don't think he's going. Just my guess, Jim.
Yeah, with your 4-batter up.
Yeah. There's the ball down low.
If you're Trumbull here, and
he's taking off here, I think.
You think he's gonna?
I think he's gonna go. Justin Marks on first. Looks like he's ready to roll. He's itching to run. He doesn't. There's a chopper foul. The base coaches have to wear helmets. It's a rule in American Legion. You don't have to have a ear flap on it, but you got to wear a helmet if you're going to be on the coaching the base boxes. It's a safety precaution. Probably a good rule. They should have it in Federation, if you ask me. Snap throw to first and getting back rather easily. Standing up is Justin Marks. Bedrzik looks down for the sign. And here's the pitch from Massaro. Curveball popped up into shallow right center. The second baseman, though, out there. Matt Massaro makes the catch and ends the threat. So for Naugatuck here in the top of the third, they come up with 1 run on a total of 1 hit. There were no errors. They left 2 runners on base. We'll be right back. At the bottom of the third, Naugatuck takes the lead at 1-0.
As we recognize the service of America's men and women in uniform, let's also honor the families who sacrifice so much every day. As the service member serves, so does the family. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Look for ways to support their families and thank them for their sacrifices. Go to legion.org/honor-veterans to find out how you can help. The American Legion honors our newest generation of warriors and veterans. Please join us in supporting and recognizing their unique contributions and needs. Go to legion.org/honor-veterans to find out more.
Today, more than ever before, women are on the front lines of America's defense. These brave women struggle and sacrifice to help keep our country secure. They deserve to be recognized for their service as guardians of freedom. Please support the American Legion's efforts to serve the growing number of women veterans. Go to legion.org/honor-veterans to find out how you can help.
As we recognize the service of America's men and women in uniform, let's also honor the families who sacrifice so much every day. As the service member serves, so does the family. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Look for ways to support their families and thank them for their sacrifices.
All right, back here at Ray Lagenza Field, bottom of the third inning, Trumbull coming up to bat now, and the top of the order will be up for Trumbull as Kevin Bruggerman steps in. He grounded out to short his first time. There's somebody warming up now in the Trumbull bullpen. I don't know what the pitch counts are and how much they have left. He's going to try to pick up his number now. On the mound for Naugatuck is still Zach
it's tough.
Bedrzik. Yeah, and he's got to turn around. And here's the pitch. Ground ball to short. And Jagello gets it. Long throw to first. Virab stretches and makes the play.
That's what you like as a pitcher with a pitch count. One pitch, 1 out.
Yes, absolutely. Well, if you look at last game, it seemed to all start when Palazzi, got the RBI single to put him on the board. Then the following inning, it's when it was Loico would have hit, Kaufman would have hit, Delaney would have hit, you know.
Yeah, and there were a couple
Over
of
3 in a
errors
row.
in the outfield. That one where it got past, well, the left fielder dove, and the center fielder let it go past him.
And Kaufman was 3. There's a line drive, and it's right at the Justin Marks, the center fielder,
Then
and he makes the catch.
We had the single to right field where the right fielder tried to throw out the guy at third, and that went past him. So
Yeah.
those 2 errors really were costly.
Well, you think about it also, this game, Trumbull now starts at third base, Evan Warner, give him a chance to play. But Greg Kaufman, the first game's infielder, got 2 infield singles and a single and scored a run. So he was 3 for 4, and he was part of that rally. Curveball is in there for a strike from Bedrosic to the DH Al Palazzi. Palazzi, the big DH for this team. Played first base for St. Joe's. Curveball outside for a ball. Palazzi last game was 1 for 4, well 1 for 3, hit by a pitch once and got an RBI single. And here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss.
That was a big cut.
Actually, that's 1 and 2 now?
Yep.
Yeah. And there's the pitch. The 1-2. Strike 3 called. An emphatic call by the umpire, and I guess I got into it. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base for Trumbull in the bottom of the third. We're moving on to the top of the fourth. And still, Naugatuck leads it 1-0.
America, meet Greg Anderson. Served 2 tours in Afghanistan, Bronze Star and Purple Heart recipient, and unemployed. The unemployment rate among transitioning service members is unacceptably high, much higher than the general population. Veterans are a proven commodity. They're mature, reliable, and hardworking, and they deserve a chance to get back to work after serving their country. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Hire one. Go to legion.org/honor-veterans to find out how you can help.
The American Legion, we're a powerful force for the nation. We're patriots through and through. We believe in our flag and all that it stands for. Our Constitution, our Pledge of Allegiance, our way of life are all fundamental to maintaining our freedom and the standing that we have as the greatest country on earth. We promote and defend these values every day in communities across the nation. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America.
Today, more than ever before, women are on the front lines of America's defense. These brave women struggle and sacrifice to help keep our country secure. They deserve to be recognized for their service as guardians of freedom. Please support the American Legion's efforts to serve the growing number of women veterans. Go to legion.org/honor-veterans to find out how you can help.
All right, back here at Naugatuck's Lagenza Field, and Naugatuck jumps out ahead by the score of 1-0, and they're batting again here in the top of the fourth inning. And Derek DeGello, he's got a big double back in the second inning. He was stranded at second. He's up, and now he swings at a curveball. His foot comes out. He tried to hit that one into the girls' softball field beyond left center. Still on the mound for Trumbull is Danny Massaro. They look like he took a little off that one as well, maybe a change. So it's 0-2 now.
Have you noticed the pitcher with his glove kind of like shaking it a little bit?
Yeah, I know.
When he gets into the windup look.
Yeah, he tries to make a distraction with it. Hides the ball pretty well. Check swing, and they're saying he didn't go, and they're asking to check. No. 1 ball, 2 strikes now.
I didn't think he gave on that one.
It was close. It's close. Unless you're really down on that angle. And half those guys, they're no offense, but I always look down there and they're talking to the guy at first. Say, oh, they're not going to call it. Ball's up high. So it's 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Jagello. On deck, big Austin Virab, ready to bust out. Here's the pitch. Strike 3 called. That's a fastball right down. Second strikeout of the game for Danny Massaro. And up comes Austin Virab now.
Yeah, Vera been quiet the last 2 games.
Yeah.
Let's see if he can poke one in somewhere.
Well, he's made the pitchers go deep. I mean, he's forced them to go deep in the counts to him, but they keep throwing him that first pitch curve. And
Yeah, they've been throwing him a lot
Yeah.
of curves.
Yep.
After getting 2 hits in the first game, they saw
Yep.
each other.
And that one. Here's when I went into dirt. Home plate umpire turned his head. The worst thing you want to do when you're wearing a mask is that's the only area where you're not protected. Curveball, and it's fouled off back to the screen. Vibrating the backstop on our crowd mic. The view you're watching is from a GoPro camera, believe it or not. You know, when we do go to the Super Regionals from one location, it will be a bigger camera. At least over down there in Seppa Field in Meriden. As Massaro looks in, shakes off the first number of finger down, and then likes the second one. He throws a curve again and misses. Counts now full to Virab. Fastball ripped into left field, and Austin Virab with a 1-out single. He ripped that fastball. Third hit of the game for Naugatuck. Now they maybe have a pinch runner for him. Who knows? And it looks like they are. Pinch runner for the big guy.
Looks like it's going to be number 1. Tristan Bosco.
All right, so Bosco will run for Virab, and then they were going to then 17 will re-enter after that. So Virab will re-enter the next inning. Or if they go around in the lineup, he'll come and bat up again, which is not likely, but you never know. Mark Nofri comes up now, the runner at first, being the pinch runner Bosco. Not a very big lead at first anyway. Here's the pitch outside to Nofri. Nofri struck out his last time up. Nofri 0 for 3 in game 1, so he's due. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Looked like he took something off that pitch. It might have been a changeup or so.
Yeah. He's been doing a good job. He fell
Yeah, he
behind
certainly
that
is.
last at bat, but other than that,
Yep. Massaro, the Fairfield Prep product, deals. There's a foul ball left side. Slapped at it, did Nofri. Bosco at first base. Wasn't there, am I wrong? There used to be a chocolate stuff called Bosco. Yeah, right? Yeah. Ball outside. I used to like that stuff.
Bosco.
Yeah, as a kid. Yeah.
I've never.
Yeah, it was in a squeeze bottle, and you squeeze it into your milk.
Really?
Yeah, it was chocolate syrup. Or you could stir it in and make a chocolate
That'd
milk.
have been before my time.
A bit. Maybe like 40 years before your time. Yeah, I know. So Nofri trying to keep this going. And here's the pitch. Check swing off the bat, back to the backstop, off the catcher's shin guard.
Oh, you got to think that one was in his wheelhouse. Little open
Yep.
stance, and he just didn't pull.
Well, he has that big area there between first and second base to try to pull it through the first baseman holding the runner.
Yeah, I've actually been noticing since you talked about the dirt. Look at the
Yeah.
the right-handed batter's box.
Yeah, I
versus
know.
The left-handed batter's box. Definitely a deeper
Yeah.
hole with a lot of right-handed batters.
I know. Here's the pitch. Curveball. Inside, they're calling it strike 3. Nofri didn't like it. Thought it was inside, but his vote doesn't count.
Yeah, you know, if you're Naugatuck right now, you have 2 K lookings and a single. You need to put the ball
I mean,
in
it's
play.
almost like when you look at the batter's box from the right side, you could literally have a pitch that's a strike at the knees that could be like maybe, I don't know, 8 inches off the ground, right? You know, when the home plate umpire looks at it, it's going to look like it's a strike.
It's like you're in a crater.
Yeah. Ball up high. Or I guess it's the other way around, too, right? You could have a pitch that should have been a strike at the letters, but it ends up being at the batter's neck, right? Well, right. Swing and a miss. Because Nate Keel tried to hit that one hard. Nate Keel with the only run of the game so far. He led off the third inning with a single. Got the second on a fielder's choice. And then scored on a sac fly ultimately. Curveball. It's up high. 2 balls, 1 strike now. With 2 outs. Top of the fourth inning, right. Naugatuck leading 1-0. It's only a 7-inning game. Pitch is way outside. It's like it's 2-2 now. Now the shade starts to cover a little bit of the home plate area. It almost hit the mound so far. Oh, there's a check swing, and it gets by the pitcher. This could be trouble. And they throw it up, and a nice play by Goldsmith to get the third out of the game. So scored that one 4-3. It was a check swing roller up towards second base, and the second baseman, Massaro, made a nice play. So for Naugatuck here in the top of the fourth, no runs. There was 1 hit, and there were no errors and 1 runner left on base. 4th runner left on base for Naugatuck here this afternoon. Be back with the bottom of the 4th inning. We're halfway through here at Ray Lagenza Field. The score remains Naugatuck 1, Trumbull 0.
The American Legion, we're a powerful force for the nation. We're patriots through and through. We believe in our flag and all that it stands for. Our Constitution, our Pledge of Allegiance, our way of life are all fundamental to maintaining our freedom and the standing that we have as the greatest country on earth. We promote and defend these values every day in communities across the nation. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America.
The American Legion honors our newest generation of warriors and veterans. Please join us in supporting and recognizing their unique contributions and needs. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out more. Life in the military is one of service and sacrifice. And for some, that sacrifice is more than many of us can imagine. Please join with the American Legion in recognizing and supporting our wounded warriors and their families. Let's not allow them to be forgotten and left to fend for themselves. They deserve more. Sometimes just thank you isn't enough. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
Well, in the bottom of the 4th inning, Trumbull will bring up Chris Briganti to lead it off here as they trail 1-0. No runs, 1 run on a total of 3 hits, no errors, 4 left on base for Naugatuck so far. For Trumbull, no runs, 3 hits, no errors, and 3 left on base. Sort of a little bit like the prior game, Jim, only Naugatuck's only up 1-0 now. It's the last game, Naugatuck was up 2-0 through 4 innings.
This game's been close. Both games, Naugatuck took the lead early. Well, all 3 games that they played in. The first one, Naugatuck was able to win. The second one, Trumbull came back and scored in the 5th, 6th, and 7th. And I just think if you're Naugatuck, you cannot let this Trumbull team hang around because eventually they will get that moment where they're going to strike and you're going to have to hold them off.
Yeah, the question is all about pitching. Who's left? You know, if you look at the number of pitches each team has thrown, they haven't thrown a heck of a lot, but, you know, will they survive towards the end, towards the 7th inning or so, and then you got to come in with another guy, and how many pitchers does Trumbull have left? You know, they've been playing every day. There's a ground ball towards the shortstop, Jagello. He'll have to hurry. He does on the run. Nice play by Derek DeGello, the Naugatuck shortstop. Brings up Timmy Loico. Loico flied to left his first time up.
The first pitch, too.
Yep.
1 pitch, 1 out. That's happened twice.
Yeah, that's what you want. And now's the time of day when you start to have those problems when it's short, third, and left with the sun. You know, it starts to get in their eyes.
Yep, you definitely want glasses or.
Yeah, so I'm surprised that they don't wear the shades now, especially the left fielder. Is his first pitch strike now, and there's strike 2 now to the left-handed hitting Loiko. Because remember we were in what game was it? It was Bristol, right? Where the guy he drops the fly ball in the left center field and then he puts on the glasses.
That was the Bristol Jewett City
Yeah.
game where it was cloudy the whole game. About third or fourth inning, sun comes out and they didn't have their glasses and someone had to run them out.
Or the guy yesterday for South Windsor cracked me up. The sun's right in his eyes. He's shading it with his hands.
He had sunglasses.
And he had sunglasses on his hat. He wasn't wearing them. There's a bloop into left center. That'll be trouble. Coming out, it's going to be Gapper. But cut off by Mart with the left fielder, but he won't be able to get it to second. Stand-up double by Timmy Loiko.
Wow, and that left fielder was playing shallow and almost towards the line. He had no shot at that one.
Yeah. Fourth hit of the game now for Trumbull hitters, and they got a runner on second now with one out. Rob Goldsmith comes up to the plate. Goldsmith flied out his first time up. He was 1 for 3 batting in the 9th spot in the last game. Now he's batting in the 6th spot. Fastball down low for a ball. Virab up on the edge of the grass. Why, I don't know. Really, he should be back. You would think, anyway, with one out. Line shot right past the third baseman. They're going to send the runner to score. The ball's bobbled by the left fielder. The throw comes into the plate. Instead, gets by the pitcher on the backup. The runner's going all the way to third. Here comes the throw. It's wild again, and this time Jagello backed it up. So another one of these crazy plays that allows the guy who hit the ball to end up on third base.
Yeah, Riles, that the left fielder there.
Who grabbed it and threw it by the catcher? That's what I want to know. There's got to be an error somewhere on that, right?
Well,
so it's got to be a single, and you would think an error.
The left fielder threw that in, right?
And it got past there was no cut man. Yeah.
Threw it in, overthrew home plate.
Crazy. And now Trumbull's threatening to go ahead again. So an error on the left fielder, I guess. I hope I got that correct. And the runner's at third. There's a fly ball to right field. That's trouble. It's hooking, and it's foul. That could have been a double. As we're all tied now here in the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, this Trumbull team really coming alive right now.
Well, just as you said, Jim, you were waiting for them to break out, and they just broke out. And it's towards the bottom of their order. Curveball, it's blooped. A little roller in front of the plate. They try to go to first, and it's not in time. But luckily, when he did throw it off balance, at the very least, they didn't throw it away. So now it's an infield single for Warner. That's his second single of the game. And he's now at first with one out. 6th hit of the game for Trumbull. And now we got runners at first and third with one out. And the middle infielders look like they're going to move to double play depth. As Matt Delaney, who flied out to right, would like to fly out again. Curveball up high. That scorcher to left field went right by Zach Graveline at third base.
Yep.
And here's the pitch. Curveball in there for a strike.
Not giving up on it after.
And again, I just don't get it. Why do middle infielders on all these teams never back up to throw to the mound with a runner on third base? I just don't get it.
Yeah, it's just one of those lost.
And there's that one bloop down the right field line. Now he's going to curve out of play. Will Deptula, he'll let it go anyway, I would think. But even so, I don't think he would have got it.
We're at a point in baseball where it's sad to say, but, it's one of those things where it's just lost. The kids are lazy nowadays. They don't work on that. They're not even taught that to back up the pitcher.
Well, I'm sure they're taught that. I just don't understand why they wouldn't do it. You have a bad throw from the catcher, or you throw it at the wrong time, that ball rolls in the infield. That guy in third scoring. Timeout by the batter that time. Delaney's given it by the home plate umpire.
It's almost like why hasn't the pitcher looked back at the middle infielder and said, I have you if it comes back to me? We don't see that often either anymore.
Yep. Curve, line drive, that's a base hit to center. That scores a run. So Naugatuck with 4 hits in a row now. Trumbull. 4 hits in a row have taken the lead 2-1. And that moves a runner to second, runner to first. Their 7th hit of the game. And they lead it now by a score of 2-1. And there's still only 1 out, and Jack Welch comes up. Yep. You never know. He may bunt the runner over. I don't know. He may try to get a bunt on a, just try to bunt for a base hit. Virab moves up on the edge of the grass just in case. Bedrzik will theoretically get everything on the third base side of the field. He does show bunt, and he does bunt it, and it's popped up and almost caught by Nate Keel. But he couldn't get it. Great effort by Nate Keel to try to catch that in the air.
Yeah, that would have definitely had Trumbull off balance.
Well, we're going to double play probably because the runner on second was taken off for third. So it's 0-1 now to Welch.
You got to think Welch has some speed, too. He pinch ran in the first game.
Yeah. So Virab up even closer now at first base. They do square, and he bunts it back into the catcher's mitt.
0-2 now.
0-2 now. So now Coach Jack McFarland will take the sign off. He hasn't given a sign, put it that way. Now he wants to talk to the batter. So talk to Welch. Jack McFarland, the varsity coach for state champion Staples this year, right, during the regular year. And he coaches Trumbull Legion team. Nice to see that. Bedrzik in trouble, trying to get out of it. He's given up 2 this inning already. Here's the pitch. He does square, and he fakes it, and he takes a ball. Well, he just didn't offer at it, I should say, because it was a ball.
Yeah, he pulled that back.
So it's 1-2.
Some people in the crowd disagreed with that.
It's like, what are you doing? He's got 2 strikes on him. As he chokes up, I could see that part on his bat, and he shows it again. Fastball, they're saying outside. Well, you don't want to walk him, that's for sure.
You just got to go right at him here.
Yeah, I know.
I'm surprised he hasn't thrown a curveball. Maybe try to have him foul it off, and then it's an automatic out.
Well, he threw him a curve, but now it's up high. He probably threw the curve thinking he wasn't going to bump, but then he saw him start to square, and then he just changed his delivery. He's got to ignore what the batter's doing.
Yeah, you got to
throw his pitch.
You don't want to lose this guy 0-2 and load the bases.
And here's the strike 3 called. Good hard fastball. Welch is down, only the 3rd strikeout of the game for Bedrzik. But now with 2 outs, Trumbull has the top of the order. If you're Naugatuck, you do not want to let them get any bigger of a lead than they have, which is 2-1. Fastball fouled off, out of play right side. Well, this inning all started with 1 out when Loico doubled. Goldsmith got a hit to left. It's a bad throw coming in. Run scored, infield single, allowed another run to score. Matt Delaney got a single after that. Ground ball base hit to right field. Deptula will have to charge it. He'll have to try. They're sending the runner. He's thrown it all the way home, and it looks like they got him. A great throw by Nate Deptula. Could have been a game-saving throw there. As Deptula throws it all the way in and gets him out. So he gets out Evan Warner outstretching at the plate. Bruggerman gets a single to right, the eighth hit of the game. But more importantly, if you're Naugatuck, that is a 9-2 throw out. Well, we finished 4 full innings here from Ray Lagenza Field in Naugatuck. Trumbull is taking the lead, 2-1. Stay tuned for more American.
The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation. We're patriots through and through. We believe in our flag and all that it stands for. Our Constitution, our Pledge of Allegiance, our way of life are all fundamental to maintaining our freedom and the standing that we have as the greatest country on earth. We promote and defend these values every day in communities across the nation. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America.
The American Legion honors our newest generation of warriors and veterans. Please join us in supporting and recognizing their unique contributions and needs. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out more. Life in the military is one of service and sacrifice. And for some, that sacrifice is more than many of us can imagine. Please join with the American Legion in recognizing and supporting our wounded warriors and their families. Let's not allow them to be forgotten and left to fend for themselves. They deserve more. Sometimes just thank you isn't enough. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
The American Legion, we're a powerful force for the nation. We're patriots through and through. We believe in our flag and all that it stands for. Our Constitution, our Pledge of Allegiance, our way of life are all fundamental to maintaining our freedom and the standing that we have as the greatest country on earth. We promote and defend these values every day in communities across the nation. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America.
Well, Trumbull comes up with 5 hits in the bottom of the 4th inning. They score 2 runs to take the lead off of Naugatuck by the score of 2-1, and we're moving on to the top of the 5th inning to determine. This game will determine who goes to the Super Regionals beginning on Saturday. There will be 8 total teams in that Super Regional. There's a foul ball by Deptula back into the screen.
I wanted to catch that one.
Yeah, you did, yeah. The Super Regionals, we said. We'll see if we have any other scores in, Jim. Cheshire's in, Hamden's in, Bristol's in. Stanford was playing North Haven.
They were up 2-1 at last.
Yeah. Line drive right by the pitcher, Massaro. Check the undies on that one. That ball scorched right past him. And that may be a spark. You know, you get your number 9 guy with a blast single up the middle. And Naugatuck has their leadoff runner on here in the 5th. And it brings up Zach Graveline, who's 0 for 1 with a walk and a stolen base.
Yeah, I still cannot get any score from that North Haven-Stanford game, but Stanford was up 2-1 last week.
Okay. They look show bunt. Throw goes way up high. A toss down to first, and getting back is Deptula. Delaney not afraid to snap it down to first. See if they try to bunt. Graveline. Evan Warner's up on third. Graveline shows bunt again. It's a ball, and they fakes a throw to first. So it's 2-0 now to Graveline. I think he's letting them hit away now. And here's the 2-0 pitch to Graveline. Ball 3. So Massaro in trouble a little bit here. Deptula with that base hit up the middle right past Massaro. There's the automatic strike. Yeah, Zach Graveline trying to get that Nate Deptula down to second base somehow, some way. And here's the 3-1. Curveball up high, ball 4. Third walk of the game for Danny Massaro. And as he looks into the dugout, I don't know. Coach McFarland is not happy about something. I mean, obviously you're not happy about the bunt, but he's really not happy about something. Now there's runners on first and second with Bruno up, who got a sac fly and a fly out to center as they spin, and looked like Bruno was about to bunt the ball, or at least show bunt.
Yeah, if you can get second and third one out, it's a big opportunity.
Yep,
for Naugatuck.
Bruno. Now he doesn't show bunt, and they're saying that slow curve nipped the outside part of the plate. And, you know, the home plate umpire has been giving that curveball that cuts the plate a little bit, or could be an inch outside. He's been giving that the whole game, so.
Yep, very consistent.
Yeah, you can't really complain about that pitch. And here's the 0-1. Sorrow checks the runner twice. There's look like a cracked bat almost. High fly to deep center field. Deep. Loico back. Catches it on what would be the warning track almost. And the runner tags from second and third. And that's sort of as good as a bunt, I suppose. So Bruner with an F8 gets Deptula all the way to third with 1 out. Runner on first, held at first. Graveline, he's probably going to go on another pitch. Up comes Justin Marks with one out and a runner on third.
That was the closest one of going out today.
Yeah, probably going to go. I think they're going to run the runner, Graveline. He's their speediest kid. He's the leadoff runner, leadoff batter. Leadoff batter usually is the guy that can have some speed and a lefty batter up. And let's see how Trumbull plays this up by one with one out here. Big lead by Graveline. Will Massaro throw over? He doesn't. There goes Graveline. Here goes the pitch. It's a throw all the way down to second, but it's not in time. This time they were throwing through, but Graveline stole the base anyway. So just as good as a bunt when you think about it on the last play. The way it turned out is one out, second and third. And Marks now, as the infield for Trumbull comes all the way up. You could even.
A lot of room in that right side.
Yeah, I know.
If you could pull it.
The ball's bounced and blocked well by Delaney. He saved a run there. One out now in the top of the fifth inning. Naugatuck trailing by a single run, 2-1. In this if game here at Ray Lagenza Field in Naugatuck. Here's the 1-0. Popped up in a foul ground. That's playable. Chasing it down is Evan Warner. He runs back. He can't get it. And he tries to go over. There was a little rut out there, it looked like. Looked like he had some trouble in that area there, right there where the grass sort of disappeared. And instead of having a pop-up out, Marks is alive.
Look at Marks sweeping up that left-handed batter's box with his cleats, trying to
Yeah.
get some traction.
Yep.
All you need here is a ball to the outfield and try to tie this game up.
Or you want to hit it. You hit it on the ground hard somewhere it's going through. It's tough when you... Here's the pitch. Swung big, but he just tipped it. So there's 2 strikes on Justin Marks. The Woodland product trying to get his team to tie this up.
And if you look at the Naugatuck dugout, everybody up on
Yeah.
the bench.
Well, they got a little life now. You know why? They got a lot of shade over there now. And it cooled off for a while, and then things happen. They start getting into the game more. Massaro shakes off 2 signs. Wants the third one. Here's the pitch. Fastball. There's a ground ball to third. And they're going to throw it all the way to first in the dirt, and it gets by the first baseman. And a run will score, and the game is tied. So an error by the third baseman, that's Evan Warner. So an E5 scores Deptula. On the play, Graveline goes to third. And Marks is at first. First error of the game for Trumbull. And the substitute third baseman, if I remember, made one play before that. But now with one out, runners are at the corners again, and up comes Bedrosic. This game is all tied. So now Naugatuck is awakened, and a lot of the fans underneath, I can tell you who one of them is in a minute, Jim.
I think I know who you're talking
Yeah, I know. It's Austin Virab's brother. I can tell by his voice.
Yep.
And here he is. They come set. He's cheering on his brother's team. And, it's nice to see. There's a throw to first, and it almost gets by the first baseman. Getting back is Marks. And now Massaro looks over at first. He looks into Bedrosic. The pitch inside for a ball. 2-0 now to the cleanup batter, Zach Bedrosic. And here's the 2-0. Popped up in the infield. Third baseman Evan Warner calls for it. He barely could see it in that sun, but he makes the catch. So Bedrosic pops out. And up comes Derek Jagello. Got a double his first time up. Now let's see if they run that runner at first base. Jagello got a double and struck out, so that's a big out for Danny Massaro. An unearned run allowed across. Big lead over there at first base. Now he shortens it up, and Massaro steps off, and so does Bedrosic as he's given time.
got to think here with 2 outs, they're going to throw to the second base.
Oh,
bag.
yeah,
They're
you
not
would
gonna
think so.
cut it off, so you could have a chance at trying to get the runner in from third.
Yeah, but then you got to stop. You can't keep going if you're the runner. You can't slide into an out. There's a pitch down low for a ball. Austin Virab on deck. He's already got 1 hit in this game.
Shakes off the pitch ball.
And the batter calls time after a couple of those shakeoffs. The runner on first base, Marks, got a decent lead as well. Straddles. Sorrow bobs his head a few times and deals. In the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes to Derek Jagello. Sorrow shakes off a sign again. A runner on first gets him a little shaken up, so he steps off and steps back in. Jagello steps back into the batter's box. Now there's a throw to first, and they try to get him. He's safe. They're really trying to get Marks over there for that 3rd out. Naugatuck has tied it up here in the top of the 5th inning, and they're trying to take the lead. Here's the 2-0 with a curveball. Nice pitch by Massaro, throwing the curve with 2-0 pitch. Massaro checks the runner, Marks.
Definitely not what you think.
Yeah, I know. Another curveball. There's a hard smash to Evan Warner down at third. He makes the long throw to first, so he redeems himself to a bit to make 2 assists, one put out and an assist. But for Naugatuck in the top of the 5th inning, 1 run on 1 hit. There was an error, and they leave 2 runners on base. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 5th inning. They're stretching here in Naugatuck. We're all tied at 2.
America, meet Greg Anderson, served 2 tours in Afghanistan, Bronze Star and Purple Heart recipient, and unemployed. The unemployment rate among transitioning service members is unacceptably high, much higher than the general population. Veterans are a proven commodity. They're mature, reliable, and hardworking, and they deserve a chance to get back to work after serving their country. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Hire one. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help. America, meet Greg Anderson.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before, and when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
All right, back here in the bottom of the 5th inning, we're all tied up in Naugatuck with Trumbull 2 and Naugatuck 2. Naugatuck got a sole run in the 3rd. Trumbull took the lead in the 4th with their 2 runs, and now Naugatuck in the top of the 5th has tied it up on the basis of an unearned run after the Nate Deptula led it off with a single, and then Graveline walked, and then there was the ground ball error after 1 out. And that did it. So Trumbull is batting now in the bottom of the 5th inning. They'll try to all start it off now. And Matt Massaro will come up to the plate now. Still facing Bedrosic. And strike 1. We got to find out after this inning if we can get the pitch counts on these guys. They must be starting to run up. Way outside. 1 ball, 1 strike now to left-handed hitting Matt Massaro. Outfield basically playing straight away for a left-handed hitter. And here's the 1-1 curveball. It's up high for a ball. Resetting that defense for you again, that's Mike Netkeel behind the plate. Zach Graveline at 3rd, Derek DeGello at short, Mark Nofree at 2nd, and Austin Virab at 1st. There's a strike on the outside part of the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Massaro. Nick Bruno in left, Justin Marks in center, and Nate Deptula in right field. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Definitely the way you want to start.
Yep.
Your Bedrosic.
4th strikeout of the game for Bedrosic. More importantly for Bedrosic, he hasn't issued, well, I don't want to jinx him. He hasn't issued a walk or hit a batter yet. And on the flip side, Danny Massaro's walked 3, hit none. But Bedrosic has given up 8 hits. And he throws a fastball low, and Al Palazzi, who struck out and flied to center in this game, got an RBI single in the last game. 2-0 now to Palazzi. Palazzi, the first baseman from St. Joseph's High School during the regular season.
Hitters count. He's got to be aggressive.
Yep, 2-0. Yep. There's a strike. There's a smash into left, but it looks like it's going to be right at the left fielder, Bruno. So Palazzi is out. Looked like he got it. Did not hit the sweet spot. Typical wood bat liner out to left field. With 2 outs, up comes Chris Briganti. Jim, you coach teams now. What would you do if you're Naugatuck here? I mean, how do you get your team to get psyched to take this game for the rest of the way? Sorry to put you on the spot.
Well, you just got to tell them to keep buying in and keep doing what you're doing, and eventually there's going to be an opportunity, and you're just going to have to grab that opportunity and just grab it in that moment, and that's what baseball's all about. Keep playing good defense and hit the ball.
It's a high fly to deep right center. The ball's traveling. It's off the fence. And now Marks will throw it in. And there's a stand-up double off the center field fence by Chris Briganti. And that's with 2 outs.
I would say don't do that.
Right, don't do that. Yeah, don't give up a double off the fence. Right. All right. No. No. That's that shade, that screen they have out there over the fence. Well, up comes now the left-handed hitting Loiko. He's got a double of his own as he takes strike 1 on the outside part of the plate. 9 hits in the game so far for Trumbull.
There's 2 outs here. They just got to stop the bleeding here and get this last out.
Ground ball to second. No free. Lets it go through his legs. And here comes the runner. He'll score, does Chris Briganti, and Trumbull has taken a 3-2 lead. So an error on the second baseman allows Briganti to score with 2 outs. First error of the game for Naugatuck.
Yeah, that's brutal there, Riles.
Yeah.
You're playing so well. You think you could stop the damage. You get that ground ball.
Yeah, you're the pitcher, and you think, oh, I got out of it. Next thing you know, you don't. Goldsmith's up now. He flied to center, singled, and scored. Swing and a miss by Goldsmith. And just like that, it's 3-2 in favor of Trumbull. And now Naugatuck's down to 6 outs in their season, theoretically. The runner goes. Here's the curve, and he got a great jump. And he now stole second, so they got another runner in scoring position. That's Timmy Loiko. See, that's what happens when you put the ball in play. You just never know. You never know.
Especially down on the ground, because if it's a ground ball, guy has to catch it. He's got to throw it. Pop-up, all he has to do is catch it.
And ball up high. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Goldsmith with 2 outs. And here's the pitch. Fastball cut on and missed for the strikeout, and that'll do it for Trumbull here in the bottom of the 5th. But they get a run, they got a hit, and there was an error, and they leave 1 runner on base. We'll be right back at the top of the 6th inning. Naugatuck now trailing by the score of 3-2. Can they come back? Stay tuned for more American Legion baseball action here on SportingNewsCT.com.
America, meet Greg Anderson. Served 2 tours in Afghanistan, Bronze Star and Purple Heart recipient, and unemployed. The unemployment rate among transitioning service members is unacceptably high, much higher than the general population. Veterans are a proven commodity. They're mature, reliable, and hardworking, and they deserve a chance to get back to work after serving their country. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Hire one. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before, and when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
The American Legion, we're a powerful force for the nation. We're patriots through and through. We believe in our flag and all that it stands for. Our Constitution, our Pledge of Allegiance, our way of life are all fundamental to maintaining our freedom and the standing that we have as the greatest country on earth. We promote and defend these values every day in communities across the nation.
Well, back here we're into the top of the 6th inning, and Naugatuck will send up to the plate Austin Virab, Mark Nofri, and Mike Natekeel. Austin Virab fly to center, got to hit his last time up, but they already used a pinch runner for him, so he'll have to run or they'll have to use the pinch runner and, take him out of the game if they wanted to do that. Well, first pitch curve again to Austin Virab, and it's 0-1. Fastball, swing and a miss inside. He took a big cut on that one. Tried to tie it up with one swing and a bat.
He wanted that one.
Yeah, but it's 0-2.
Just a little 2 inside.
2 inside, yep. Now see that curveball away, maybe. And here's the pitch. Fastball, and it's flared down the right field line. Chasing its right fielder, and he'll make the grab. So Virab flies out to right field in foul ground. And up comes Mark Nofri, who's 0 for 2 on the day, and he struck out twice.
Yeah, you need a spark here if you're Naugatuck.
You need something to happen here, even if it's a bunt single. Ball up high, so it's 1-0 to Nofri. And they're basically playing him straight up, except the third baseman is up. There's a foul ball. Back towards the porta potty back there. I think it smacked something. And it's 1-1 to Mark Nofri. 2 shakeoffs by the pitcher Massaro, who's pitched pretty well this game when you think about it. He's only given up 4 hits. Way inside. That one bounces its way to the backstop. Sounds like something out of some kind of a band when it hits the backstop here as the vibration. Like yeah. Boom, as our crowd mic picks it up. This is Massaro's pitch. Up high. Even at 2. Massaro takes a deep breath and now deals the 2-2. Line shot right at the second baseman on one hop, though. Massaro makes the play. And there's 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the 6th.
Well, if you're Naugatuck here, you need to get this next batter on and then maybe get to your 9th batter, and then you turn over the lineup.
Yeah, get the top. But the top hasn't done anything. They haven't gotten a single hit in the top 4 hitters today, this game for Naugatuck.
Well, that means they're due.
Yep. The hits have been by the bottom of the order. And Jagello, there's a strike. Jagello got a double. Natekeel got a single, scored a run. Deptula got a single, scored a run.
And
Virab got a single, yep. Those are the 4 singles today. And here's the 0-1 to Natekeel, and that's a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike to the catcher from Naugatuck, Mike Natekeel. He's caught both heads of this doubleheader so far. There's the curveball in there. Well, you win the first game, the momentum goes on your side. Naugatuck seemed to get the momentum back. When they tied the game up, they seemed to get a little spark. They're all up on the edge of the dugout. As there's a line shot base hit into left field. He ripped that one by the shortstop, Bruggeman. And a 2-out single by Nate Keel.
Now, all you need is Deptula to get on. You get two guys with the top of the order. Maybe you have a shot at scoring here.
Well, you got to see how fast Mike Nakiel is. Does he have enough speed to try to steal a base? You know, do you take a shot here to steal second? There's a ball low. It was 1-0.
That shade almost covering half the field now.
Not a very big lead at first base. Swing and a miss by Deptula. It's 1-1. He wanted to take the lead over that scoreboard in right field. I think in right field it's only like about 290 or something like that right down the line.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know what the ground rule is here, whether you got to hit it over the scoreboard or not. Curveball for a strike.
Well, if you hit it over that scoreboard, that's a shot.
That's a shot. 1 ball, 2 strikes now, especially with a wooden bat. To Deptula. And he's straddling off. Here's the pitch. That's in the dirt.
You do not want to lose this batter if you're the pitcher right now.
Are you? You know, maybe it's me, but did the umpire just kick the dirt off the plate instead of using his whisk broom? I guess he doesn't have his whisk broom. That's kind of odd. If he doesn't, and he's lazy if he does. There's a ground ball to second. A 2-hopper to second baseman. He makes an error, and he doesn't have a play at first. So Deptula gets on an error. Nate Keel's now at second base, and they return the favor a little bit as Trumbull gets their second error of the game.
We're going to get a conference here from the Trumbull coach.
Yeah, well, I don't know what the pitch count is. He told the second baseman to stay back. I don't want to talk to you. You made an error, right? Yeah, I guess he just wanted to talk to the pitcher and catcher. And it looks like that's going to be all for Danny Massaro.
Looks like number 7, Al Pelosi.
Well, number 7 is going to come out. It looks like the DH will enter the game then, right? So we got to see how this plays out. We'll be right back with more American Legion baseball action here from SportingNewsCT.com.
America, meet Greg Anderson. Served 2 tours in Afghanistan, Bronze Star and Purple Heart recipient, and unemployed. The unemployment rate among transitioning service members is unacceptably high, much higher than the general population. Veterans are a proven commodity. They're mature, reliable, and hardworking, and they deserve a chance to get back to work after serving their country. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Hire one. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before, and when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
The American Legion, we're a powerful force for the nation. We're patriots through and through. We believe in our flag and all that it stands for. Our Constitution, our Pledge of Allegiance, our way of life are all fundamental to maintaining our freedom and the standing that we have as the greatest country on earth. We promote and defend these values every day in communities across the nation. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America.
America, meet Greg Anderson. Served 2 tours in Afghanistan, Bronze Star and Purple Heart recipient, and unemployed. The unemployment rate among transitioning service members is unacceptably high, much higher than the general population. Veterans are a proven commodity. They're mature, reliable, and hardworking, and they deserve a chance to get back to work after serving their country. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Hire one. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help.
That go. Well, sorry about that. A little technical glitch. We're trying to get back here to show you who's the pitcher. And the pitcher looks like the former catcher, right? Is that Matt Delaney, who's now on the mound? We're trying to figure out who the catcher is. He looks like he's been in this game so far, so he had to be somebody who was on the field before, right? You know, see, we still got Bruggeman at short, Evan Warner at third, Matt Massaro there, but the DH has entered the game, and the DH was previously batting for the pitcher, Danny Massaro. So Danny Massaro must be...
It might be Goldsmith.
Still out of the... No, it might be Goldsmith. Maybe, yeah.
16?
Could be. Could be Goldsmith behind the plate. In any event, 2 outs. Runners at first and second. Ball low to the leadoff hitter, Zach Graveline.
We have 2 outs, 2 Rouse, right?
Yes, sir. Down at first base is Deptula. Second is Nate Keel. Graveline trying to tie this game up. Fastball. Ball low. 2 balls and no strikes now.
Let's see if Delaney can get this batter out. You know, you come in within this situation, sometimes...
That got to be a different Delaney. It just doesn't look like the same. Line drive, base hit to left. This could tie the game. Rounding third and heading home is Nate Keel. Here comes the throw to the plate. It'll be offline. And Naugatuck has tied the game up at 3. Zach Graveline with an RBI single. And runners remain at first and second.
That error at second base really hurting.
Yep. As Nate Keel has scored. And now Nick Bruno is up with runners in scoring position. Curveball low, 1-0. With 2 outs, all of a sudden it starts to switch a little. As it's all tied up now. Here's the pitch outside. Oh, they're calling that one a strike. Yep. I saw a big frame by the catcher. I figured that couldn't be. There must be Goldsmith must be back there, but he's 19. How could that be 19? I don't know. We'll get it in a minute. And here's the pitch. Ball in the dirt. Lucky it was a fastball, so they couldn't read. 2 balls, 1 strike now to Nick Bruno. It all started when Nate Keel got a hit. Deptula hit a ground ball to second that went through, and it looks like you're going to have a pinch runner now going in for Nate Keel.
Yeah, that's number 24, Alvin Torres.
Well, Torres, is he going in for Deptula's spot, or is that who's that who came out? Nate Keel?
No, he scored.
Nate Keel's the one who scored, so he must have gone in for Deptula then.
Yep.
Yeah. Ball way outside. 3 balls, 1 strike now to Bruno, who's 0 for 2 on the day with a sac fly. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Way inside. It looks like it might have clipped him, so the ball is dead, but in any event, the bases are loaded now. Torres goes to third. Graveline to second. Bruno to first on the hit by a pitch.
Now the lefty 3 batter comes up, Justin Marks.
Yep. Marks to the plate now with the bases loaded. 3rd time in the day Naugatuck has had the bases loaded. 2 of them with nobody out. We're in the top of the 6th inning of a 3-3 ball game between Trumbull and Naugatuck. Who wants it more to go to the Super Regionals?
This might have been that moment you asked me about, Rouse.
Yeah.
They really need to grab this moment and execute.
Yep. There's a bloop into right center, but it looks like the right center fielder is under it, and he makes the easy grab. Well, Naugatuck ties it up. They come up with 1 run on 2 hits. There was an error, but they leave 3 runners on base. That's the 9th runner left on base here this afternoon.
The American Legion.
Bottom of the 6th inning. We're all tied up at 3.
The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation. We're patriots through and through. We believe in our flag and all that it stands for. Our Constitution, our Pledge of Allegiance, our way of life are all fundamental to maintaining our freedom and the standing that we have as the greatest country on earth. We promote and defend these values every day in communities across the nation. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America.
The American Legion honors our newest generation of warriors and veterans. Please join us in supporting and recognizing their unique contributions and needs. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out more. Life in the military is one of service and sacrifice. And for some, that sacrifice is more than many of us can imagine. Please join with the American Legion in recognizing and supporting our wounded warriors and their families. Let's not allow them to be forgotten and left to fend for themselves. They deserve more. Sometimes just thank you isn't enough. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
The American Legion, we're a powerful force for the nation. We're patriots through and through. We believe in our flag and all that it stands for. Our Constitution, our Pledge of Allegiance.
All right, it's in the bottom of the sixth now. A tie ball game as Naugatuck gets a run across in the top of the sixth to even it up at 3. Zach Bedrzik still on the mound pitching to Evan Warner now. They're saying he went in the first pitch. Trumbull's bench screaming that he went halfway, that he check swinged, and they were upset with that one. Tensions start to rise now on these players and coaches and fans. As
with a close game
strike
like
two, as this ball game is even at 3. And Ray Lagenza Field here in the bottom of the sixth, and here's the 0-2 pitch. Curveball way outside.
The loser has to go home, and their summer's ended. And
Well, their summer doesn't end. They just their baseball summer.
ends.
Their beach season begins, I guess, right? So
I'd rather be playing baseball.
yep. Fastball up high, so it's 2-2. Bedrzik has really been out there. He's given up 10 hits so far today, still battling and battling and battling. Strike 3 called. 5th strikeout of the game for Bedrzik. More importantly for Bedrzik, no walks, no hit batters, right? I mean, that's big.
Yep.
No freebies. He has given up 10 hits, but he's made Trumbull earn every one of them. Ball outside. 1 out, up comes Matt Delaney, the new pitcher for Trumbull. He's singled and flied to right. Curveball up high. Bedrzik a little bewildered about that. He thought it was a strike. 2 balls, no strikes now. Here's the pitch. Hard fastball for a strike. 2-1 now. And here's the 2-1 curve. There's a line drive. One hopper gets past Nofree. It gets past the outfielder, but it's picked up by Deptula. That one was hit, just didn't play it well. I don't know if you'd call that one an error. I guess you'd have to. An E4.
Yeah, if you're the second baseman there, you usually have to knock that down knowing you have a lot of time on the right side.
Yeah, I mean, I know it wasn't hit soft, but still. It's a substitute batter now. Number 31 comes in to bat for Jack Welch.
It'll be Ryan Gomes, the pitcher from the last game.
The pitcher, last game's pitcher, has come in to hit now with 1 out. The runner on first. Errors will kill you. Line, there's a crack, could be 2. Nofree over to short to 1. To Jagello, he throws, he got it. A 4-6-3 double play, and just like that, Naugatuck ends the threat. We'll be back. The top of the 7th inning. Could this be another barn burner of extra innings like we had the other day? We'll be back with the top of the 7th after these important messages. Stay tuned for more American Legion baseball action here on SportingNewsCT.com.
As we recognize the service of America's men and women in uniform, let's also honor the families who sacrifice so much every day. As the service member serves, so does the family. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Look for ways to support their families and thank them for their sacrifices. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help. The American Legion honors our newest generation of warriors and veterans. Please join us in supporting and recognizing their unique contributions and needs. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out more.
Today, more than ever before, women are on the front lines of America's defense. These brave women struggle and sacrifice to help keep our country secure. They deserve to be recognized for their service as guardians of freedom. Please support the American Legion's efforts to serve the growing number of women veterans. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
As we recognize the service of America's men and women in uniform, let's also honor the families who sacrifice so much every day. As the service member serves, so does the family. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Look for ways to support their families and thank them for their sacrifices. Go to legion.org/.
All right, back here for the top of the 7th inning we go. Naugatuck will send up Zach Bedrzik, Derek Jagello, and Austin Verab. Here in the top of the 7th inning of a 3-3 ball game, the winner to the Super Regional Tournament to begin, and I think this is the southern end of the Super Regional Tournament. So the winner here will play in the South Regional at SEPA Field, start Saturday. First pitch is in there for a strike to Zach. We already know that Cheshire's in, Hamden's in, Bristol's in. We haven't heard any other scores yet. There's a ground ball to short, taking its time. One-handing against the shortstop. Pretty play by the shortstop, Bruggerman. Scored that one 6-3, and that brings up Derek Jagello, who doubled his first time up. Struck out and grounded to third. Boy, could they use a towering fly ball to left over that left fielder's head now, like they did in the second inning. Trumbull has the hammer, as they call it, the last ups in this game. There's a ground ball up the middle, chopped to the shortstop, and Bruggerman with another running throw. And 2 up, 2-6-3s. We have 2 outs here in the top of the 7th, and that's going to bring up Austin Verab. He's 1 for 3 on the day, 2 flyouts, 1 to center, 1 in foul ground to right. Is now the coach from Naugatuck just put his hand over his head. Do not allow the ball to go over your head. So the outfielder's playing extremely deep in left field. That's Welch, who's way out there.
So I got some updates on the tournament route.
Unless that's Ryan Gomes out there after he pinched hit.
South Windsor defeated Waterford 2-1, and they're playing out the second game as we speak. West Hartford advanced. They beat Tri-Town 3-1.
So West Hartford's in the Super Regionals.
Yep. Southington beat RCP 3-2, so they're in it.
Southington's in.
Yep. Bristol's in 9-3 against Jewett City.
Okay.
We already knew
There's a rocket down the left field line. I doubt it's going to be a double, though. Unfortunately for our big man Austin, he just doesn't have that kind of speed, but he rips it. Look, they can't pinch run for him now unless they want to take him out. You never know, I guess. But see, now if it was the bottom of the 7th, they might have. But since it's the top, you got to think twice about taking him out. It's 'cause especially with 2 outs.
And then we have Stanford. They beat North Haven, so they are advancing.
So Stanford. So we have South Windsor, Waterford. We don't know yet, right?
Nope.
West Hartford's in. Southington's in. Stanford's in.
Bristol's
right?
in.
Bristol's in.
Cheshire's in.
Cheshire's in, right. And Hamden's in, we said.
So the last 2 is going to be this game and Waterford South Windsor.
Yeah, South Windsor got to the if game, and so it's this game to determine who else makes the top 8 to be played Saturday.
Verab there with a big 2-out hit, though.
Yeah.
Ripped down the left field line.
They're not even holding him on. See, that's the hardest part about that. They played so deep on him, so no doubles defense, but, you know. There's a ball outside to Mark Nofree, who's 0 for 3. Here's the pitch. Caught on, missed. You know, you got to give a lot of credit to Bedrosic. I mean, here's a kid. He's given up 10 hits so far. But he's only given up, what is it, 2 earned runs, you know, in this game? Scattering 10 hits. That's tough. And there's a slice foul on the left field line into the left field stands. Yeah.
He's protecting that plate, though. He does
Yep.
not want to strike out here.
Yep.
The umpire has been calling that outside corner. You're right, though, Rouse. The umpire kicking the dirt off the plate.
Yeah. It just doesn't make any sense to me. You think you'd have something to a whisk broom.
Yeah, he should have asked the base ump for his from the previous game.
Yeah. There's a shot, but it's going to be a one-hopper. Two-hopper is the second baseman, Massaro. And the side is retired as Nofri is out on a ground ball to second. So for Naugatuck here in the top of the 7th inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. They leave 1 runner on base. That's their 10th runner they left on base here this afternoon. We'll be back with the bottom of the 7th. Will Trumbull leave Naugatuck on the field?
The American Legion, we're a powerful force for the nation. We're patriots through and through. We believe in our flag and all that it stands for. Our Constitution, our Pledge of Allegiance, our way of life are all fundamental to maintaining our freedom and the standing that we have as the greatest country on earth. We promote and defend these values every day in communities across the nation. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America.
The American Legion honors our newest generation of warriors and veterans. Please join us in supporting and recognizing their unique contributions and needs. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out more. Life in the military is one of service and sacrifice. And for some, that sacrifice is more than many of us can imagine. Please join with the American Legion in recognizing and supporting our wounded warriors and their families. Let's not allow them to be forgotten and left to fend for themselves. They deserve more. Sometimes just thank you isn't enough. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can.
Here we go. The bottom of the 7th inning. Trumbull will send up to the plate the top of the order. As up comes Kevin Bruggerman. Kevin is 1 for 3 on the day. Naugatuck has got 1 run in the 3rd, 1 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th. For Trumbull, they got 2 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th. There's 3 runs for Trumbull on 10 hits, 2 errors, 4 left on base. There's ball 1. For Naugatuck, 3 runs on 7 hits. They've committed 2 errors. They've left 10 runners on base. And here's the pitch. Here's a foul ball, straight back. So Bruggerman certainly not looking for a walk. As we've got 6 out of the 8 teams in the Super Regionals already determined. And there's 2 games left. This one and Waterford South Windsor. Fastball is a pop-up out of play. So it's 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Kevin Bruggerman. As that hole gets ever deeper. And here's the pitch. Curve. That was fly to right field. Going back is Deptulo going back, and he catches it at the fence. He catches the ball, and then his back touches the fence as he makes the catch. So Bruggerman hit it a long way out to right field and could have won the game if he hit it about 10 feet further.
That would have been dramatic.
Yep, but it's not. Up comes Matt Massaro. He's 1 for 3, singled. Line to center and struck out the lefty. And you got to wonder what the pitch counts on our curveball up high for Bedrosic.
He's pitched this whole game, but you do remember he had a couple batters where he had 1 pitch, 1 out.
There's a strike. It's 1-1. Well, I'll tell you, Danny Massaro pitched pretty well. Can't get the win, right? Delaney's the only one who can get the win for Trumbull, even though Delaney gave up the run to allow it to be tied. Curve up high. 2 balls, 1 strike now to the left-handed hitting Matt Massaro, rather. Palazzi on deck. Way outside. 3-1. You do not want to walk anybody. 3-1. And Zach Bedrosiak. Here's the pitch. Fastball. It's ripped into right, and will Deptula be able to get it? He comes down. He makes a nice diving catch.
2 great plays.
Yep. Nate Deptula comes running in and catches it, going face first into the ground.
Looking back at it, how big was that put out in the 5th inning where he threw out the guy at home plate?
Home plate. Yep, absolutely.
In a 3-3 game.
Absolutely. How big was it to stop that other run from happening? And that comes up Palazzi now with nobody on, and Palazzi does have home run power. And here's the first pitch to him. Fastball, and now Bedrosiak challenged him, and the ball was fouled back. Yep, that was Kevin Bruggeman got that hit, Jim, when Deptula in right field fired all the way in to get out Evan Warner at home plate.
Yeah, that was a big play.
And here's Bedrosiak, the wind in the 0-1. Just missed outside. It's funny how emphatic the home plate umpire is about a ball that's outside, right? He's like he's knocking somebody over to say it's outside.
Yeah, well, he's called that almost all day, but he did, telling us right away that that's outside.
Curveball up high. Looks like a brand new baseball went into the game. 2 balls, 1 strike. Lights still not on here. Because right now we're about, almost 20-8. And here's the pitch. Outside.
Do not want to lose him right here.
He hasn't walked anybody all day. But Palazzi now can more or less sit back and maybe try to get something here to drive. He asked for time. So now they're trying to get, you stand further away from the box, you actually get up higher, right? Because you're like now on the regular ground. Fastball, this one's popped up, should be playable. No free, waves off Deptula, and he makes the catch. So Palazzi pops out, and Trumbull goes down 1-2-3. So we're going extra innings here. How fitting between these two teams. Naugatuck will take the bat now in the top of the 8th inning. Stay tuned for more American Legion baseball action here from right against the field after this.
The American Legion, we're a powerful force for the nation. We're patriots through and through. We believe in our flag and all that it stands for. Our Constitution, our Pledge of Allegiance, our way of life are all fundamental to maintaining our freedom and the standing that we have as the greatest country on earth. We promote and defend these values every day in communities across the nation. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America.
The American Legion honors our newest generation of warriors and veterans. Please join us in supporting and recognizing their unique contributions and needs. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out more. Life in the military is one of service and sacrifice. And for some, that sacrifice is more than many of us can imagine. Please join with the American Legion in recognizing and supporting our wounded warriors and their families. Let's not allow them to be forgotten and left to fend for themselves. They deserve more. Sometimes just thank you isn't enough. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
Here we go in the top of the 8th inning now for Mike Nakiel step in for Naugatuck. First ball is down low. Now he looks like a catcher, right? Like he's caught 2 games. Take a look at him, right? Those pants. So I was saying the difference between him and Delaney on the mound, who was the catcher in both games. Hits the batter. Nate Keel will take it. As the saying goes, we got ice. Second batter.
That's that cardinal sin, Riles.
Yeah.
You do not want to hit the leadoff batter and get
especially the 8th batter here.
Winning run.
Yeah. Deptula's up, Willie bunt, and I think he's gonna. I don't think he wants to, but I think they're telling him to bunt. Deptula just sort of looks at him twice. Say, you want to change that sign now? Sort of gives him the look, but Nate Keel down at first base. Not a very big lead. Third baseman now, Evan Warner, coming up. He does square. He bunts it, but it's foul. Taps his helmet. Warner was charging from third, see if they take it off. And it looks like they're still going to put that sign back on again. And it's going to be a bunt. And Delaney comes stretch now. And here's the pitch. He does square. He bunts it out in front of the plate. The pitcher gets it. Delaney throws to first, and he gets him in time.
Everybody's got to get up on that Naugatuck bench and give that guy a high five.
Yep, absolutely. Sack bunt does the job. 1-3. It moves Nate Keel down to second, and Graveline, who's 1 for 2 with 2 walks, steps up to the plate now. It's tough to score a lot of times from second, unless you're going on the crack of the bat, because the outfielders don't usually play as deep. The outfield playing rather shallow. That's Welch in left, Loico in center, Baganti in right. And Delaney looks in for the sign now. There's a lot of space there in right field. First pitch is a curve or a slider. It's in there for a strike.
Looking at this defense right now, you got the second baseman covering the bag.
Yep, I know.
Hole on the right side and the third baseman.
Absolutely. There's a ground ball towards Evan at third base. He bobbles it. Does he tag the runner? They're saying he didn't. They're saying he missed him. And that's going to be an error on the third baseman. So score that one to E5. Now they got runners at first and third. Warner makes an error, so that's Trumbull's third error of the game. Up comes Nick Bruno now, who's 0 for 3. 3 fly balls to center and hit by a pitch.
Well, fly ball to center field here would get in the run.
Get in the run, yep.
You got to hit the ball.
And out comes Coach McFarland. He wants to talk. He wants to talk this over as to what they're going to do here.
If you're a batter here for Naugatuck, you cannot K.
Yeah, or pop it up. Graveline at first. Well, if you're Naugatuck here, here's your option, right? You could steal Graveline, okay?
There's only one out, right?
Yeah. So if you steal Graveline, then the infield has to come up. And then you got your shot is better because now, it's harder to defense from the infield up. If they throw him out at second, though, then it's a problem because you can't score 17 ways from Sunday from third base with less than 2 outs. Yeah. So it's an interesting strategy call here by both coaches, really. What are they going to do?
What you got to do is what I would do, fake bunt, steal. Right?
You could do that. Yep, that's certainly an option.
Get those guys moving in the infield. It looks like we're going to do a pitcher.
New pitcher is going to be out there, though. Yep, let's tell everybody who it is in 60 seconds.
As we recognize the service of America's men and women in uniform, let's also honor the families who sacrifice so much every day. As the service member serves, so does the family. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Look for ways to support their families and thank them for their sacrifices. Go to legion.org/honor-veterans to find out how you can help. The American Legion honors our newest generation of warriors and veterans. Please join us in supporting and recognizing their unique contributions and needs. Go to legion.org/honor-veterans to find out more.
Today, more than ever before, women are on the front lines of America's defense. These brave women struggle and sacrifice to help keep our country secure. They deserve to be recognized for their service as guardians of freedom. Please support the American Legion's efforts to serve the growing number of women veterans. Go to legion.org/honor-veterans to find out how you can help.
As we recognize the service of America's men and women in uniform, let's also honor the families who sacrifice so much.
All right, well, the new pitcher for Trumbull is Kevin Bruggerman, the shortstop, so he moves into short. Matt Delaney goes from the mound over to second base, and Matt Massaro goes from second base to short. So with 1 out, we got runners at the corners and Nick Bruno up. That's Graveline at first, And at third base, that's Mike Natekeel. Let it all off with a walk. Swing and a miss. Bruno took a big cut. He wanted to get that ball driven. As the infield is up on the edge, regardless, he might as well take second base now, unless it's a decoy. What's the point? He goes, swing and a miss, and they throw it back to the mound. There's nobody there. So Graveline with defensive indifference, but there's 2 strikes now on Bruno.
Man, I can't believe they didn't think about showing bunt at all there.
Yeah, it's like, well, that's the way they know their players. They know what they can do or can't do and stuff. So the 0-2, low to 1-2 is now the fans, and the tension begins to rise down that third baseline. I'm looking at all the fans on the third baseline behind us and in the stands to the left of us. As it's the top of the 8th inning, we're all tied up at 3. Third pitcher for Trumbull. Fastball is fouled back into the screen in front of us. Nick Bruno trying to get a ball to the outfield. He's got 1 sac fly here today to put his team ahead. Outfield, left fielder out there, Jack Welch not playing deep. Loico straight in his spot. Curveball way outside, 2-2. The right fielder, Briganti, about even where he normally has been the whole game, but a lot shallower than his counterpart, Nate Deptula, who ended up catching a ball at the fence. Bruno trying to put this team ahead. A big lead at second. There's a ground ball in the hole. That's going to score 1. Here comes Graveline. The throw is going to be... Is he safe? No, they drop it. He's safe. Here goes the runner to third. They pick it up. They throw it to third over the head of the third baseman. And here comes the batter for an inside-the-park score as Naugatuck has scored 3 runs on a base hit to left field.
Wow. Unbelievable, Riles.
Unbelievable. Let me just try to get that all out now. Bruno with a base hit to left field, right? The ball gets thrown. Somebody's got to have an error in there somewhere when you think about it, right?
Yeah.
So Natekeel scores.
Well, the play was at the plate where the catcher dropped the ball.
Yep.
Plate.
But then he threw it. So there's an error on the catcher throwing it to third.
Throwing it to third.
So we have the E2 there. So that's the third error, the 4th error of the game for Trumbull. And there's a ground ball back to the pitcher, and he's out. So Marks is out on a 1-3. So now Naugatuck has a 3-run lead here in the top of the 8th inning. And up comes the number 4 batter, Bedrzik. Due up in the bottom of the 8th is Briganti, Loico, and Goldsmith due up for Trumbull. Now Naugatuck, they found the spark they needed. A bunt, a walk, and a sac bunt. There's a fly ball to left center. That's going to be a base hit, and maybe 2. And off and running is the batter, and Bedrzik has a stand-up double. So that's the 2nd hit of the inning. So Bedrzik's got a double, so that's
2-out hit. That's a great piece of hitting there.
8. I'm counting up the hits. 9 hits in the game so far for Naugatuck now. And the pitcher of record really is Bruggerman now. It all fell apart in that 1 inning. They just started throwing the ball around. They're losing the poise. And so we talked about in the first game, it happened to Naugatuck. And in this game, it's happening to Trumbull as they now trail it by 3. It all started, Natekeel walked. Deptula sacked him to second. Graveline got on in an error by the third baseman. Bruno then got a base hit to left, and then everything fell apart as they started throwing the ball all over the place.
Riles hitting that, I think he hit the pitcher, or he hit the leadoff batter. So
Is that a hit batter or a walk?
I think it was a hit by pitch.
Oh, okay.
And then an error by the third baseman.
Yep. A sac bunt by Deptula.
Yep.
So with 2 outs, here's the pitch now in the dirt, blocked well by the catcher, Goldsmith. It's 2 balls and 1 strike now to Jagello. But you got to give a lot of credit to this team, this Naugatuck team. They look like they were almost out of gas. And it's like they found some fumes to burn, and they get a 3-run lead.
And if you're Brueggemann here, you need to get this out here. You do not want to see Austin Vera above
I know.
2 guys on.
2 guys on, yeah. You certainly don't, especially when everybody starts hitting the ball.
And his hit, the last at bat, was a rip down the left field line.
There's a foul ball back to the screen. Well, I have to think about the strategy there on Trumbull's side, right? When they had first and third, they moved the infielders up, so they gave Graveline second base free.
Yep.
So then he was able to easily score on that base hit to left.
Yep.
So instead of a 1-run lead, they ended up with a 2-run lead. You would have never had that play at the plate on Graveline. Right up to the back to the mound.
What a play.
What a play by the pitcher, Bruggerman. That's an L1. That'll do it for Naugatuck here in the top of the 8th. So they come up with 3 runs on 2 hits. There was 2 errors by Trumbull. They were costly. And they ended up leaving 1 runner left on base. Did Naugatuck. That's their 11th runner left on base today. But more importantly, they now have a 3-run lead going into the bottom of the 8th. It's crazy.
America, meet Greg Anderson. Served 2 tours in Afghanistan, Bronze Star and Purple Heart recipient, and unemployed. The unemployment rate among transitioning service members is unacceptably high, much higher than the general population. Veterans are a proven commodity. They're mature, reliable, and hardworking, and they deserve a chance to get back to work after serving their country. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Hire one. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before, and when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
The American Legion, we're a powerful force for the nation. We're patriots through and through. We believe in our flag and all that it stands for. Our Constitution, our Pledge of Allegiance, our way of life are all fundamental to maintaining our freedom and the standing that we have as the greatest country on earth. We promote and defend these values every day in communities across the nation. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America.
All right, back here at Ray Lagenza Field in Naugatuck, Connecticut. Naugatuck has pulled ahead in this extra inning by the score of 6-3. 3 runs, and I believe only one of them was earned, if that. So, leading it off here in the bottom of the 8th, Chris Briganti. Zach Bedrzik was at 104 pitches before this inning started, so he's allowed to finish this batter. Then Naugatuck will have to come in with a substitute pitcher. Briganti, 2 for 3 on the day, scored a run as he takes strike 1. So Bedrzik, although giving up 10 hits on the day, has only given up 3 runs. Think about it. Not bad, even though you give up that many.
Yeah,
2 and 1.
If you're Trumbull right now, you can't be very aggressive. You got to know that the winning or tying run is in the dugout.
The other thing you got to think about here, and this is another thing for, I guess, a strategy thing, is do you let the substitute pitcher start the inning and not have Bedrzik run out here? Because it's a lot easier to start an inning. You get more warm-ups on the mound, and you do your thing from a wind-up. Instead, if a runner gets on or doesn't get on, you're now going from the stretch. And
or that guy comes out and he hasn't pitched all game and he walks
right.
a guy.
Right, exactly. Foul ground. Austin Virab chasing it and foul. He makes the one-handed catch. Another stellar play by the big first baseman, Austin Virab, in foul ground. And there's 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Naugatuck now has to come in with a new pitcher. And I just got the feeling it's going to be Graveline, and we'll let you know right after this.
As we recognize the service of America's men and women in uniform, let's also honor the families who sacrifice so much every day. As the service member serves, so does the family. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Look for ways to support their families and thank them for their sacrifices. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help. The American Legion honors our newest generation of warriors and veterans. Please join us in supporting and recognizing their unique contributions and needs. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out more.
Today, more than ever before, women are on the front lines of America's defense. These brave women struggle and sacrifice to help keep our country secure. They deserve to be recognized for their service as guardians of freedom. Please support the American Legion's efforts to serve the growing number of women veterans. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
As we recognize the service of America's men and women in uniform, let's also honor the families who sacrifice so much every day. As the service member serves, so does the family. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Look for ways to support their families and thank them for their sacrifices. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help. The American Legion honors our newest
All right, back here with one out. Zach Graveline takes the mound. Derek DeGello goes to third. Bedrosic back to short. There's a first pitch strike from Graveline, who's pitching to the lefty, Timmy Loico. Got on base twice, got a double, scored a run back in the fourth inning. Here's the 0-1. Curveball, there's a bloop. Out to Nofree at second base. He makes the one-handed catch. There's 2 outs. So Naugatuck is one out away from going to the Super Regionals. And Trumbull is down to their last out in the name of Rob Goldsmith, who's 1-0, is now the outfielders should be playing at no doubles depth as they back up a bit. And here's the first pitch.
He's 1 for 3 on the day with a
Yep.
K and a pop up the center.
Yep, first pitch curveball is ball 1. Graveline trying to get the save. Bedrosic be the winner. Should they hold on? Ground ball to third base. Gets past Jagello into left field. So that's going to be a hit. That'll be the 10th hit. Check that. I thought they already had 10, but that's the 10th hit for Trumbull. As Bedrosic had given up 9 hits, 5 strikeouts, but more importantly, no freebies, no walks, no hit batters at all. Brings up the 7-hitter Evan Warner. Warner's actually 2 for 3, and he takes ball 1. Virab playing behind the runner at first with 2 outs. And let's see if Trumbull tries to take second freebie. Fastball in there for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Evan Warner, the third baseman from Trumbull. Here's the pitch. Curveball is lined into left center. Chasing it down is Marks. Will he get it? Yes, he caught it on the run. A great play by Justin Marks, and Naugatuck is in the Super Regionals.
People shaking the fence. They knocked our crowd mic off. But what an unbelievable game, Riles. You know, that all happened in the 8th inning. You know?
Yep, in the 8th inning, Naugatuck comes up with 3 big runs on 2 unfortunate errors for Trumbull, and Naugatuck is in the Super Regional Tournament. For Naugatuck, they scored 6 runs on a total of 9 hits. They've committed 2 errors, left 11 on base. For Trumbull, they scored 3 runs on 10 hits. They committed 4 errors, and they left 5 runners on base through the game. The winning pitcher for Naugatuck is Zach Bedrosic. He gave up 9 hits, but he had 5 strikeouts, but no walks and no hit batters. The losing pitcher, Danny Massaro, had actually pitched a good game. He gave up 5 hits, 3 strikeouts, and 3 walks through his innings of pitching. And hitting stars for the game for Naugatuck, you have to look at Zach Graveline. He got on base 4 times tonight. Bruno got a single in that big 8th inning to left field that ended up driving in 2 of the runs. And let me see, look at the bottom of the order, Jim, for Naugatuck. Mike Natekeel with 3, he got on base 3 times, scored 3 runs, got 2 hits, and Nate Deptula scores as well in the 9th spot, gets on. But I thought the big play there was when, after Zach Graveline stole second base there in the 8th inning, and then you allowed another runner to get in scoring position as Trumbull elected to come up on the edge of the grass.
Yeah, it seemed like they didn't care about that extra
The
run.
extra run.
They were just worried about the guy on third and stopping them from
And once you got that base hit to left field, they actually scored 2 runs because now Graveline had a huge lead off of second base. And then the third run was really scored on the error when they started throwing the ball around. They ended up throwing it into left field.
Riles, that ball that Tula threw from right field that kept the game tied up, or at that one-run game.
Yep.
That was huge.
Could have been a two-run game in favor of Trumbull. And, here's a game where Naugatuck scored 1 in the third, 1 in the fifth, 1 in the sixth, and then they get 3 big ones in the 8th inning. For Trumbull, they get 2 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth. So Naugatuck, their team, the gutsy team, they lost game 1. It seemed like, we were talking about it between games, Jim, that we thought they looked really, really down, looked like they were exhausted. They looked like they were exhausted as this game began. Trumbull had all the momentum going for him, but somehow, some way, Naugatuck got it done.
Yeah, they just got that spark, and they took it by the bull by the horns.
Yep.
Great job.
Give their team a lot of credit, this Naugatuck team, and they'll make their way, well-earned way, to the South Super Regionals beginning on Saturday. Well, that'll do it here from Ray Lagenza Baseball Field in Naugatuck, Connecticut. For everybody up here in the press box here, it's Jim Varlas, my good friend. Great game, job as well. I'm Steve Riley, and one more time, the final score from Naugatuck is Naugatuck 6 and Trumbull 3. Stay tuned for more baseball action here on SportingNewsCT.com. Starting this Saturday, we'll have all the super regional games with coverage right here on SportingNewsCT.com. Good night, everybody.